This is a little addendum being added to this episode of the First Mint this morning, just as we were posting episode 19, the one you're going to listen to. The news dropped that the Rising Stars set for the NBA All-Star Game is coming our way this Sunday, March 7th. That's right. It was, I guess, loosely announced by Rachel Nichols of ESPN on Twitter and then announced officially on the NBA Top Shot site. That means that the NBA used the Top Shot site to announce their Rising Stars roster in the form of a pack reveal / pack drop news announcement. This pack is going to drop sometime March 7th, this Sunday, which is the All-Star Day of All-Star Weekend. And the players involved, and again, this is a rare set. We don't know how many of these moments there will be or how many packs there will be, but there are a lot of players in there so far mentioned. The players are, for Team USA, LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, Tyler Hero, DeAndre Hunter, Keldon Johnson, Ja Morant, Michael Porter Jr., Zion Williamson, James Wiseman. And for Team World, Precious Achiuwa, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Denny Avdija, RJ Barrett, Facundo Campazzo, Brandon Clark, Lou Dort, Rui Hachimura, Theo Maledon, and Mikal Mulder, I should say. That's going to be the game this Sunday of the Rising Star. Pretty much the who's who of NBA Top Shot, really, except for LeBron. So keep an eye out for that. We'll have more details for you on the First Mint Twitter, and this Friday on our live show, we will definitely discuss this pack with the Plunge Father and the Real Field D, so make sure you tune in for that. Otherwise, enjoy this awesome episode of the First Mint. What's up, everybody? It's LgDoucet here. Today is March 3rd, 2021. Welcome to the First Mint, a podcast where I talk about marketplace trends, big sales, and everything going on with NBA Top Shot. We got a very hot agenda for today's show. We're going to go through a couple updates at the First Mint, a couple of updates at Top Shot, and then also I'm going to give my thoughts on this current market pullback. Some call it a dip. It's definitely not a crash. It's a little pullback. And then we have another awesome interview with a top collector. The GreekFreak is in the house. He and I are going to have a little chat. He is in the top 15 of collectors on Top Shot, and we are going to talk about the long-term value of collecting Series 1 of NBA Top Shot moments. I want to remind everybody here that none of the content on the show constitutes trading advice in any way, and that this show is not affiliated with NBA Top Shot, the NBA, or Dapper Labs. I'm just a guy at his house who loves basketball and blockchain. This is the First Mint. It has been a quiet couple of days on NBA Top Shot. Maybe by the time you're listening to this, it won't have been so quiet. But Monday, Tuesday have been relatively quiet, but they haven't been quiet here at the First Mint. Last night, Tuesday night, we tried out Twitter Spaces with our good friend Justin Taylor, the Plunge Father, Chugs and Bugs, as well as quite a few others who joined, over 120 in total. Spaces is pretty much a Twitter equivalent to Clubhouse, except it's not limited just to iPhone users. You can join on mobile from iPhone, iOS, Android, whatever. You just kind of click on it. Very interesting concept. We had a nice little chat in there. We talked about base moments, Anthony Davis, brand activations through Top Shot. A nice little spot. There is no recording of it, but I will be letting you know when we're doing another one because it was very fun. So keep an eye out for them. You will need to be following us on Twitter to join. Other really awesome data that's been coming from the First Mint Network. We had a really great PJ Washington chart from Steve, where he showed that there was a 35% uptick in purchases after PJ Washington's 42-point night the other day. We also had a really awesome player market cap chart from Greg Murray, where it turns out that 17% of the entire player market cap in Top Shot is actually LeBron James, to the tune of $274 million market cap for the King. Next up after him, second place is Zion with an $83 million market cap in all of Top Shot, which is about 6% of the whole thing. We've also seen a really great team market cap chart from Mr. Chugs and Bugs, showing again that the Lakers lead it with 19% of the overall market cap. A lot of that obviously coming from LeBron. And on Monday night, there was an awesome Twitch stream from none other than the Plunge Father himself. He was on Twitch answering Q&A, answering questions about the Anthony Davis challenge, and was also fielding questions about the whereabouts of Crypto Babe, to which he did not know nor answer. If you want to stay tuned to all this, make sure you are following the First Mint on Twitter, as well as following all these awesome contributors and friends of ours. Now on to Top Shot. Yesterday we ran a poll because it was a very quiet day asking people what they think we're going to see next on Top Shot. The options were a 200,000 base pack drop, Cool Cats 3 release because we know that they've been minted, or a surprise all-star game set, which is something I made up. I don't know if that's going to happen. I know people have been talking about rumors. Alan has mentioned it here and there. I don't know. The fourth option was nothing, and the winning option from over 4,100 votes from you guys was surprise all-star game set with 39.6% of the votes, second being Cool Cats 3. Guys, I really hope that that does happen. I hope we get some kind of fancy all-star game set. I don't know what the likelihood is because it is getting very close to the all-star game. Cool Cats 3, probably more likely, and I would actually say that a bigger base pack drop is actually also very likely because it would be very nice to go into all-star weekend with that. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do feel like we've had a bit of silence now for a couple of days. The challenge rewards are out, and we are due for something big. Speaking of challenge rewards, they both finished yesterday. One of them was a little bit delayed. The AD went a little bit later into the day, even though it had already been delayed from the day before. They were minted last night and being distributed to the owners. Derek Rose, the gift, finishing at about 3,484, and AD for Cool Cats 2 finishing or just around 7,100. Again, a reminder that sometimes more of these moments are minted because some accounts have some kind of issue with the challenge. I know a lot of people have been asking, why are there more Lucas being minted and why is it listed as CC+? That's just kind of how it goes with these challenge rewards. Usually within a couple weeks that's changed, but know that some extra ones might be minted. Extra as in a handful, extra not as in a couple thousand. So don't worry, if you got one of those, there won't be that many more. If it says CC+, it's all good. If you're doing the Cool Cats challenge, I salute you. Good luck. You have probably had also to get your hands in the last couple of days on the Karl Anthony Towns moment, which hit the market late Monday night, being put on the market obviously by former CryptoKitty owners. When it hit the market Monday night, that cat moment debuted at about $1,000. I saw a couple of people buying it for $1,000, and then it dropped all the way down to 200, which it was then scooped up by some snipers, potentially some bots. I know some people were saying bots. There's no confirmation of if or not or whatever that they were bots, but definitely some very quick snipes, and it is now settled in the about $400 to $500 range. Both of those moments, the Anthony Davis and the Karl Anthony Towns, part of the Master Challenge for LaMelo. Also, two other challenges going on now. There's only two, which actually doesn't seem like a lot in Top Shot, although back in the day, two was quite a lot. Those challenges being the Hollow Icon for James Harden. It's his first moment in a Brooklyn Nets jersey. That challenge is now actually going, if you want all those moments, they're actually going for around $80,000, which is down from $120,000. So that challenge cost has actually gone down by about 33%, which is cool. Still a tall glass of water, even for a legendary James Harden. The other challenge that's going on is for a metallic gold Terry Rozier. That is the first of the Series 2 metallic gold challenges. That one also going for a little while, and that challenge cost going for about $12,000 on the marketplace. Next up, I'm going to give my thoughts on the current market pullback. And if you do watch our Twitter, you know that, again, one of our friends, Steve, posted yesterday, that the rookies from Series 1 had now finally been affected by this dip. They'd been kind of impervious to it for a couple days, but now they've dipped by about 10%. That's okay. I know a lot of people are new to Top Shot and wondering what's happening, why their account valuation is going down, how it can go down so quickly. So I'm going to give you my general thoughts. None of this is concrete. This is just my observations from having been in this game for a little while and having gone through a different dip last month and other dips in the last 6 months. Okay. So first thing is that market flows are relatively normal. Any stock or market that is on its way to the moon or higher, or just generally going up, there are bound to be dips. It goes up and then it goes down a bit, and then it goes up again, and then it goes down a bit again, and it just keeps going through that cycle. So right now, we are very likely in the downward part of that long-term upward cycle. The thing in Top Shot, though, is that it happens way faster than it does on any other market. Say it was a stock, that would take years, or even those dips are like maybe months or something like that. But in Top Shot, it's quite literally days. So if you look at any other market, any other stock, what's happening right now, it's very normal. People sell a lot. They sell more than people are buying. That's when you have a dip. Next point, flippers are starting to get some of their money out. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people in here who are just here to make some money, make some easy money. They're not interested in collecting. They don't want to hold anything. They just want to buy stuff, rack the price up, and then get out. So now that the market has slowed down, those people are trying to exit with their money or at least sell stuff so they don't have to hang on to it for too long. So naturally, again, a pullback. Another thing that's happening is that we've seen a major slowdown in new supply. Yes, we had some stress tests and some releases last week, but it's not nearly enough. This is a 24/7, 365 economy. We need new supply to constantly stimulate it. We can't just stare at the same moments forever, which is kind of what I feel like we've been doing. These base 2 moments, we've been staring at them for 2 months, and that is way too long. We need this new stuff from the pre-order, from Release 21. We need it to come out soon and regularly. Next point is that we've actually seen a lot of the Series 1 stuff hold its value quite well, which might mean that a lot of people have cashed out their Series 2 scores and invested longer term into Series 1. We're going to go into Series 1 long-term holds in just a minute. Point number 5, everything actually kind of looks overpriced right now. And I'm talking specifically Series 2 base. And what that means is that new users are unlikely to buy it. For something like Top Shot to work, it needs to work for even the most baseline entry-level collectors. So that means people need to be able to get their favorite player, or at least a very good player, for something like $10 or $15, not $200. So let's say your favorite player is Donovan Mitchell or Joel Embiid. You need to be able to come into Top Shot and buy that player for $5 or $10, not $190. We need that level of balance. I know I talk about this all the time, so sorry if it's a bit of a broken record, but we also need things like challenges. We need challenges to be able to be accomplished for less than like $200, not $2,000. That's balance. So again, back to the third point, we need that supply. We need the supply to drive down the prices, or at least to have so much of the new supply that there are things that are affordable if we want new people to come into Top Shot. The last point, and this is more of a recommendation, if you rewind 1 month and you listen to episode 8 of this podcast, it's titled The Marketplace Dip. We have a conversation with Andy, who's one of the smartest collectors in the game, and we talk about exactly what's happening right now, a market pullback where some people are selling, getting their money out, and Top Shot is preparing for another big burn with tons of new stuff. So it's very likely that in a few weeks, the economy is going to get going again. We're going to have new supply and we will be clicking again. But until then, no new supply, boring time, boring people, people selling. It's just going to be like that for a little bit. So hang tough, people. Next up, you're going to hear my conversation with the GreekFreak. Now, this guy is a great guy. He's also a very smart and lucky guy. He got into Top Shot at the right moment and has played his cards very well. He is holding tons of Series 1 and Series 2 stuff, and he has no intention of letting any of it go anytime soon. Maybe little trickles, but not that much. He and I are going to chat about stuff like what his favorite moments are that he's holding, how he ranks his Series 1 moments, what it would take for him to sell things like a LeBron Cosmic, as well as how ultimate moments like Genesis and Platinum Ice might eventually affect his behavior and his feelings towards his moments. And then at the end, we play a little game of Would You Rather, the First Mint edition. And we are on with the GreekFreak. He is a legendary collector in Top Shot, one of the top accounts, and also one of the smartest guys in the platform. GreekFreak, it is a pleasure to finally have you on the First Mint.
Happy to be here. Well, thanks for the kind words. I don't know about all that, but hey.
Just take the compliments, okay?
Thank you, Luke.
Just take it.
All right.
Let's start from the beginning, man. Like, how did you first get into Top Shot?
The irony of Top Shot for me was I got into Wax Blockchain and Garbage Pail Kids. I'm only into Top Shot because of Garbage Pail Kids. So that's the irony, first of all. It's something I collected in the 80s. And I met Usman over there on another blockchain, and he heard about it. And he said, hey, you want to come into beta? And I jumped on. And he wasn't working for Top Shot yet. So we both started collecting together, and just there's very few people in Top Shot at the time. And it was just exciting. I always loved NBA as a kid, grew up watching it. And so when I saw, the first NBA NFTs coming out, I got really excited.
Would you consider yourself a investor, collector, and NBA fan? What's your background there?
I grew up collecting sports cards. I don't know if you remember, but I had sold off my collection like over 10 years ago. And it was a big regret because I just love collecting cards. I love stats and sports all together. So, but I also like investing. I like the stock market and crypto. So when you take something like NBA Top Shot, it kind of combines all my interests in one. And that's why I went so big, because I love everything about it, right?
Let's get into the topic of the day. Let's talk about Series 1. A really easy question for you. How many Series 1 moments do you have?
I don't know exactly, but I have over 12,000 moments in my collection, and I would say about 80% are Series 1.
Just a casual 12,000 moments. No big deal.
Just Something like that, yeah.
You have a lot of them, and you've been here from the start. What are your thoughts on the long-term value of that series one?
It being the first series and the first to come out, and how rare they are with the limited numbers like we were just talking about. Well, the highest count is 3,999 compared to Series 2. That's rare. Some are as low as 1,000 on the bases. And obviously, when you go to the rares and legendary, they're even less. We're talking like, Cosmics 49, Hollows 50. And they went up from there from the top, and 59 and so on and so forth. But I just feel like it being the first introduction to Top Shot, the first series, I see this continue to grow down the line, and I see it being very, very valuable. So when you're talking with someone like a LeBron James first moment or his Kobe tribute moment, something like that, I feel like those moments are going to be untouchable. They're going to hit $100,000 and beyond, and the average person won't be able to touch them.
How do you plan to kind of roll out your Series 1 long-term collection? And I mean that in the way that, how do you decide what you sell and what you keep, and what kind of triggers you to sell them or to keep them?
Well, I think with all investments, it's important to take profits. And for me, it's like I do have attachment to my collection, and it's hard to sell. So I tell people this: make sure you hold on to your good stuff, hold on to your grails. Probably don't want to be touching your cosmics or your other legendaries. You might want to sell some duplicates if you need to, but when you have extra duplicates of like bases, that's the easiest thing for me to sell. And rares, like I went big on like early adopters and Kelly versus New York and stuff like that, right? So when I have extra of something, if I have 20 of a moment, I feel a little less mad about letting one go, right? So I always keep that, and I always start with my highest mint. That's how I sell. One at a time, highest mint, and something I have more of is usually my strategy. And that way it's a compromise between holding something that I think will continue to rise in value and letting some stuff go and continue to shave profits, and keeping a balance with my collection and still as an investment too, and as a collector, keeping that balance.
Let's talk about things that could actually threaten the value of Series 1. And sorry if that's a little bit of a sad thought for you. But
No,
do you think that more like run it back archival stuff, like let's say there was ever Kobe or MJ or Hakeem or anything like that, if those moments came out in like legendary form, do you think it's possible that people would think those are worth more than some of the Series 1 stuff?
well, possibly. I mean, I don't see why it's going to affect the Series 1. Just they might prefer that over Series 1. You can't go back and really ever buy these packs again unless you're going to be able to buy them on the market, right? So other people come in are going to have a chance to buy these newer run it back sets, right? And these packs, and they're all going to be sought after is the way I see it. I don't see it as a direct competitor, but I feel like, I know you're going to hate this, but like you go, why are these CryptoPunks selling? Like, right, you talk about Drew talking about that, but like they were the first NFTs. These are going to be the first NBA Top Shot, right? And just having that caliber and that mystery and that untouchable feeling about them, I think will give them value in the long term. But we're not even a year out yet, right? We're still very, very new here, and it's just released in the summer of 2020.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Based on it still being so new, wait 5 years. What does that mean then?
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at how long it took, for example, Bitcoin to actually become something, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes by just holding something and forgetting about it, it could be millions of dollars. I'm not saying if you hold 10 random bases, it'll be worth millions of dollars, but you just never know sometimes, especially if you're holding some grails like LeBron James, or I'm saying if you're holding, imagine what a cosmic set's going to go for in say 5 years. It's going to be untouchable. It's just going to be crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think you would ever be tempted to trade in some of your Series 1 stuff for some of the other Series 1 Genesis or Platinum moments?
I'd be tempted. I'm not going to lie. I mean, definitely, I kind of feel like the Genesis or the Platinum, you're talking about Ultimate and Platinum, right? The Platinum Ice?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Genesis, just for those that don't know, Genesis were the first ones ever made. They're 1 of 1. There's 5 players from each team. You each have a 1 of 1. In the Platinum Ice, there were 3 of 3 of each play ever made on Top Shot gets 3 of 3 Platinum Ice moments. So even the newest stuff that's about to come out has 3 Platinum Ice moments of each of those that are reserved for some kind of future promotional use or being given to players, or I don't know about that part, but maybe given as reward in hard court games, or I don't know. We don't know what it is. Some of them are going to go to auction as well. Would you be tempted, if you had the opportunity, to trade or sell some of your LeBron Cosmics and stuff like that? Would you do that for the chance to get some of that?
I only have 1 LeBron Cosmic, so that would be out of the question. But would I trade some high end stuff for them? Yes, because I consider them to be Series 1, and because since the beginning of Top Shot in June, they've been teasing us with these ultimates and platinum ice, and we saw photos, and everyone's like, ooh, like going crazy about it. Since it's been minted since the beginning, it is part of this Genesis Series 1, right? These are the rarest ones, right? To me, it's not Series 2 or anything else. Those are definitely the top tier. And like you're saying, is it better than Cosmic? Maybe, but look at how the Cosmic, I've been telling people since the beginning, Cosmic are special. So when I met MBL, he got it right away. So he ended up getting whatever he could right before everything blew up. So he did really well. But I feel like even though I've seen Cosmics kind of slow down at times, but then they pick back up, they kind of slow back down, we slow down again, and you're going to see they come in waves, right? But I feel this is a whole nother entity. So when you're talking about ultimates and platinum ice, there's only so much to go around. And I feel like they're going to be so pricey so I don't really know even how expensive they're going to get. But I think it's with some of these key star players, it's going to be gross. It's going to be expensive. Mm-hmm. It's going to be crazy. I mean, how much is LeBron 101 or Zion 101 and Luca 101 going to go for, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
time will tell, right? Like there's a lot of money coming in the Top Shot. I don't know if it's something I'll ever be able to get or even you, but what's the next moment you're going to sell out of your Series 1 collection? And what is the one that is the absolute last one you would ever get rid of?
Shoot, I would probably say my LeBron Cosmic now. I have LeBron Cosmic, LeBron Hollow, and I also have a John Morant number 12 jersey match rookie debut that I really, really like. And that's one of my favorites as well. But I would feel, and side note, probably my new baby that I would have a hard time getting rid of right now too is my number 1 Kobe tribute throwdown, LeBron James, number 1 of 275. So it's the first mint. I feel like that's probably my best moment right now next to my Cosmic.
What's the moment that'd be the first one you'd sell? Like what's next on the docket for you to offload?
For Series 1?
Yeah.
Easiest thing for me to do is I go to Series 1 bases sets and I look, and I love Lou Williams. He's a talented, underrated, Clipper, but I have like 53 of them. So easily I could go and sell something of that caliber. That's easy for me. Go to the highest mint. That's how I operate. I try to be detached from certain things.
Totally.
So I kind of look at what I have a lot of, and is this going to hurt me to sell one of my highest mints? Probably not. So I kind of just look at it from a non-emotional standpoint when I have that many of them.
What would it take for you to sell that LeBron Cosmic or that LeBron number 1 throwdown?
When I invested in this, the number 1 throwdown LeBron, I said it's going to hit $1 million. So I feel that's my low on that right now.
Long term in Series 1, how much will serial numbers actually matter outside of number 1 in jersey?
I think it's always mattered. And it's funny, from the early days when I was talking to some friends and collectors, we'd always talk about, this number 1, this could be worth, $100,000. Like I had number 1 Giannis Cosmic that I had bought from someone, and we were talking, this could be worth $100,000, right? And then it's funny, now that's underpriced, in a sense of what people will pay for it now. But I feel like when you're just talking about bases and other moments, I feel like the sky's the limit. The early, like number 1's jerseys and last mints obviously have value, but still I see a lot of people looking for the lowest possible. But just a seller's perspective, people don't focus so much right now. I think right now on the actual mintage, they focus more on the floor and just trying, even if it means, okay, they could pay maybe just 25% more and get a mint that's, sub 20, but they focus more on just, oh no, I'm going to save money and just buy, this mint that's, a few away from the highest spot. So I've noticed that a lot. It's a lot easier just to sell at the floor, but I think mints will get more and more valuable over time. I'm already seeing it now.
What's a Series 1 moment sale that you regret?
I sold LeBron James Cosmic for $5,000 in December. Yeah.
Has it been resold since? Do you know what?
No, I sold it. You know what? I'm also happy I did. Like sometimes I'm happy to sell stuff because it means someone else had an opportunity, right? And I actually did it because I was supporting another project, and that allowed me to do it. But the only reason I did it is because I spent money, now I need to sell something, and I was offered. At the time, the market, I think the floor was around 7,000. It's all right. Like sometimes, you make these moves, and I look back and I made some trades for Top Shot for some projects that actually went under and other things, and on wax and other things. And now these people are sitting on a lot of money, a few $100,000 because of the trade I made. And, you could look back and say that's a big regret, but also a philanthropist might say, hey, you know what? You just gave someone a life-changing opportunity, right?
What advice could you give people who might be entering Top Shot now or have entered recently, who are looking at Series 1, seeing some of that long-term value? What advice would you give them for kind of navigating that? And let's just assume that they don't have the budget for a LeBron Cosmic.
Right. I mean, right now, this is the time, if you're talking today, March 2nd, right? There's value everywhere, right? Look at the players you like. Look at some of these star players. Look at their value. You can even look up at what were they just selling at a few days ago. Into February 28th, some of these, I mean, we just had a dip. So these are the opportunities. Look at the players you like, compare them to like the other stars, and like, does this seem like a good deal? And look at the other prices. Everything's there, which is nice on the blockchain, right? You can go on CryptoSlam and look up player one by one by any set or anything else, and look at the mints. You might even get some good deals on some mints there. So if you see a serial number, something minted to say 1,000, and you see a serial number in the 200 at the floor price, that's a good value. So definitely. And also I tell people that too, if you see something at the floor price, but it's only $1 or $2 more, or just a little bit more for something that is in the low mintage, I think that's a no-brainer. You should always be looking at that.
Are there any hidden gems in Series 1 that you really covet, like outside of the, Jersey Ja and the #1 LeBrons, all that kind of stuff? Are there nice little nuggets that maybe are lesser known?
I always tell people this, so since this is being recorded, let's reveal this one more time. Is the first 6 retired moments ever were LeBron James, his first moment, the same moment as the Cosmic, the Hollow, the MGLE, the Steph Curry, the assist. We have Giannis dunk. We have Harden, Westbrook, and Derrick Rose. Those first 6 moments, currently there's only 437 circulating of 1,000 minted. They were retired as soon as From the Top came out, and that's when the Kobe tribute came out, the dunk and other moments. And that was an MVP set. They made 2 moments of each of those MVPs, previous MVPs of the NBA. So those 6 moments that people don't really realize were the first ever retired Top Shot moments, and there's only 437 circulating, later to be released by Top Shot. They haven't really disclosed yet, right, exactly what they're doing, but they said they wouldn't just release them all or anything, right?
Now we're going to play a little game, and it's called Would You Rather? And I'm going to give you 2 options, and you got to tell me which one you would rather, okay? Series 1 LeBron Cosmic or Series 1 LeBron Hollow?
Probably taking the Cosmic, even though the Hollow is more rare.
Would you rather one of each of Luka Doncic's first moment? So it's a dunk on March 11th. There's a base, there's a hollow, and there's a metallic. So one of each of the Luka from Series 1, or one of each of Deck the Hoops, the entire set, Series 2.
I love Deck the Hoops. I love the art for that, and it's a great set. But those Luka moments, and you're saying, well, you're not getting the first round. You're just getting the first moment, right? So the MGLE,
just the first moment.
That's right. I would take those. Luka's such a superstar, and those are his first Top Shot moments. I would take the Luka Series 1, those 3, and all 3 of those are huge.
Something a little bit more personal here for you: a Series 1 Giannis metallic #1. Or Series 1 Giannis last mint of the Cosmic, so the number 49.
I would probably take the #1 MGLE, because that was never in packs, by the way, and they were only airdropped, so people don't know that really. That was the only MGLE that was not released. It was only early adopters got 50 of them, and now they're releasing them in showdown contests or whatnot, right? That fact that it's so rare, it gives it a little bit, I don't know, higher value in my mind. But those last minutes, it's funny, as I got, oh man, who's the last mint Cosmic Master is MBL 267. Speaking of him, he got my Luka and some others, and I never thought about it. Last mints, I never even thought about it in the early times. I was focused more on low mint. I let a lot go for nothing.
Every single LeBron Cosmic and Hollow from Series 1, or Giannis comes to your birthday party, sings you a song, and then the song becomes an NFT that you own.
Got to take those LeBrons. That'd be crazy not to, right?
Are you sure? I'm sure he can sing a beautiful Greek song just for you guys. Maybe some kind of childhood meaningful song.
Speaking of that, Greeks are crazy, and I remember they showed up at a basketball game. They're singing the Greek national anthem in the U.S. for Giannis, and he's singing along, just having a good time. I thought that was hilarious.
I have one more question for you, and it's actually been sent in from one of your fellow collectors. Arsonic wants to know why you have 36 Cody Zellers and you haven't traded them to him yet.
You know what? I actually gave him some Cody Zellers before when we did a trade. He's like, just throw me 10 Codys and we're good. I'm like, okay. Tell Arsonic I have a Cody Zeller coming his way.
You hear that, Arsonic? We got one more Zeller for you on the road to 1,000. Awesome. Greek, thank you so much for your time, man. It's great to finally have you on the pod.
Thank you for having me. It's always a good time.
And that is going to do it for us today. Thank you to everybody who has sent me their thoughts, their feedbacks, their well wishes, their questions. I love getting it. I do my best to respond to every single person who writes to the First Mint. So please keep hitting us up. Follow us at the First Mint on Twitter. Follow me, LgDoucet, on Twitter as well. Again, I do my best to answer quickly. Next thing you're going to see from us, we have our awesome Friday live show coming up. We do it every week on YouTube. It's at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. Give it a watch. Last week we had so much fun, and we have another awesome show lined up for you this Friday. Otherwise, good luck collecting out there. Good luck during All-Star Weekend. We'll see you Friday on the First Mint.